Talks about English class 10. Gonna introduce you a book called Immune, A Journey into the Mysterious System That Keeps You Alive by Philip Detmer, creator of Kurzgesagt in a Nutshell. Well, first, in part 1, I introduced you about the immune system. In part 2, I introduced you about bacterial infection. And part 3 is hostile takeover, which is viral infection. Well, in our bodies, there is the swamp kingdom of the mucosa. This has, the cells like macrophages, dendritic cells, and also the epithelial cells, the outer layer of our skin that helps us stop, from viruses and bacteria. And I explained it in the other videos. Okay, so there's the mucosa, and this is in our body. Then there's our gut, which has the same thing as the mucosa. It helps stopping bacteria and viruses. And there's also the respiratory system, where there's mucus and our mucosa that I explained. Okay, so what is our enemy? The virus. Well, the virus has its spike protein to go into a cell, and there's also some DNA or RNA, and there's cell membrane, and that's all of it. And so, when a virus comes to a cell, it uses its spike proteins and go into the cell, and then using its proteins to make copies of himself, and then it orders the cell to self-destruct, and then it comes out and it does the cycle repeatedly. But we don't stop there. We need to stop these viruses. So first, there are interferons. Well, interferons come out from cells that are infected and warns the other cells. And with that, the immune cells come, and the infected cells also stops their movement of proteins and making the infection a bit slower. Okay, so like that there's also receptors that activate helper T cells and killer T cells. Helper T cells see the battlefield and then see what to do, and so that's why they're helper T cells. But killer T cells, as their name, are killers. And so these killer T cells kill infected cells. So there are two kinds of receptors, MHC class 1, MHC class 2, and helper T cells are activated with MHC class 2, and killer T cells are activated with MHC class 1. And so, the killer T cells just kill all the infected cells and also some healthy cells. And then the helper T cells help out macrophages and the other immune cells. And so then there's the natural killer cells. The natural killer cells are, exactly the same as killer T cells, and also kills infected cells, cancer, and just our, cells and something. That's the natural killer cells. Okay, so how we eradicate a, virus infection. First, when a virus comes in, they attack the respiratory mucosa, and then infected cells come out, so they let out interferons, and then the natural killer cells come and kill all of them. And then the dendritic cells get samples from the battlefield and go to the lymph nodes, and activate helper T cells and killer T cells. And then the helper T cells activate the B cells, and then the B cells let out antibodies, and that's stops the virus, and then the viral infection is done. And to stop any more damage in the body, we shut down our immune system. Okay? Okay. So that's how a viral infection ends. But even though a viral infection ended, we have memory B cells and memory T cells, and those guys memorize our enemies, and when they come back, they're very weak. And there are also vaccines and other things that will help us stop viral infection. And in the next video, I'm going to explain to you about cancer and how to boost your immune system. Okay, today I introduced you a book called Immune, A Journey into the Mysterious System That Keeps You Alive by Philip Detmer, creator of Kurtzgesagt in a Nutshell. And next time I'll come